Hey, welcome on another meeting, which will be the same as the meeting in the morning, but for people from different time zone. It's a contributor first meeting for AsyncAPI community. I'm just live on Twitch, Twitter, LinkedIn, and YouTube. Um, and of course, as usual, I need to first check if I'm really live. I just don't trust the technology that much. And I just need to make sure that I'm actually audible. Because in the past, I had a bit um, different experience, let's say, not something I expected. So bear with me. I'm checking out YouTube, although I don't guess you care because I don't see anyone watching yet. So yeah, a sec. Let me. Okay, cool. I'm audible. I'm actually audible. Um, to get some more viewers, let me grab a calendar invite, and at least I'm gonna let people in the Slack know that I'm live. I see one person is already there watching, so feel free to say hi as I say hi to you. Oh, I scared this person. Sorry, I didn't want to be that direct. Excuse me. Anyways, let me copy the links to the social media. I'll put a link. I'll put a link in the Slack. And oh yeah, now I see somebody's watching. Say hi and don't run away, because the first person that came in and I said like hi ran away. So whoever are you watching now the stream, please say hi in the chat. Um, from previous experience, I know that I see at least chat messages from. Yay! Hey Anand, my man. Cool. Great to have you. Awesome. At least one viewer. Yeah. Now let me check if we can get a bit more people here. I'll put a message in Slack. Where is it? Okay. FYI. In progress. Okay, so the community in Slack knows. So, yeah, so Anand, yeah, and Jonas, what are you doing there, mate? It's 6. Enjoy your evening, dude. Wow, Anand, you start big with big question, but I love your question. I love it. So I'm gonna start talking about it, but you need to give me like 2 minutes, like 4 minutes, or actually you don't have to. Because I mean, if we just have two viewers, and I anyway know that it's just you and Jonas, so I will skip with regular explanation what the meeting is about, and I will jump to explain what you need. But before, I need to do some promotion because I learned a new tool. Actually, not. not a new tool. I use it. I used it already for the SIG meetings for AsyncAPI, but the tool is photopea.com. God, ah, yes, Jonas is helping Alejandra today on a Spanish speaking conference. So good luck, Jonas. Yeah. Um, but yeah, I learned a new tool to edit photos. So because this meeting, I also on these meetings, I want to promote our conference sponsors. And look what I have. Like, get ready for it. Okay, so of course I have a typical overlay. Like, come on, people, we have a hackathon that is running now in October, and we have a conference in November. So whoever's watching recording, go to the website um, and join us on both events. And the events, like prizes for the hackathon winners, like you can win 5K bucks if you actually win the hackathon. So I think it's worth it. And we have, like in the morning, I had this stream already, like morning, my morning, which is Europe morning. And I was talking about one sponsor, which is IBM. But now I'm going to talk about two sponsors and wait for it. Wait for this amazing graphical stuff that I did. And this is called overlay. So I'm becoming a really pro streamer. So, except of just IBM that joined just recently as a platinum sponsor today, like I think 20 minutes before this stream, we got another platinum sponsor. So we have already 5K bucks. So we have actually prices. Like the hackathon is now covered thanks to these two amazing platinum sponsors, which is IBM and Abli Real Time. So huge thank you to both of you. Like it's amazing. Thank you, Alejandra. I know it's beautiful, isn't it? I'm an expert. Like now I'm an expert. I'm an overlay expert at the moment. I know that the Abli icon has those white edges, but it's not my fault. They were there when I woke up, so um, not sure really how to fix them. But it's pretty good anyway. Um, okay, so we have like 5 people. And now Mark. So interesting question. So let me hide those amazing sponsors for a sec. And let me show a comment from Mark. So by the way, hi Mark. Try to join the meeting. The link in the meeting invite and is spinning saying asking to join. Did you try to join with Zoom link? Because it was in the initial invite, but I don't think it's there anymore. Because at the end, I'm not using Zoom at all. I'm like, I'm now in Restreamio UI. But yeah, let me check. But on my side, the invite has no Zoom links. Google Meet link. Oh, there is a Google Meet link, but I didn't add it really. Yeah. So you can, yeah. So basically, the idea is to reach as many people as possible. So also people that are shy and don't want to join live. But if somebody wants to like join me, like like a human showing face and speaking, you're. I mean, feel free to just let me know. I'm gonna invite you. But like for wider audience, it's a stream and just interact through chat. Um, So that's if it comes to the answer to the question from Mark. Now, Anand writes, Google Calendar shows it. It just adds it on its own. I think, yeah, that's my feeling actually, because I was not configuring any Google Meet stuff. So even now, or wait, like maybe I just closed it in the while editing. Okay. Okay, now I think I removed it, so it's not going to be confusing next week's. Um, so you should not see the um, strange Google Meet link. Yeah, but like I said, like if you want to join, feel free. Just to let me know. But yeah, so I already explained the sponsors, and again, like I'd like to make a like super huge shout out for Restreamio. So to do the stream, I'm using Restreamio, and actually the conference next month, for the conference we're also going to use Restreamio to stream to different platforms the conference. And when we started exploring Restreamio, we planned to actually use sponsor money to purchase the professional subscription. But yesterday, after a short discussion with Restreamio, they decided to give it to us for free because we're open source. So huge shout out to Restreamio folks. Like, thank you by 100. Okay, so Alejandra was also confused. So yeah, sorry about the confusion. That should be removed now from the invite, but yeah, you're still invited to join. Okay, so I talked to you about the sponsors, Restreamio. What else should I clarify? I don't think I have to clarify again what's the purpose of the meeting. So basically, if you are interested about the purpose of this meeting, why I'm here, what I'm going to talk about, just have a look on the stream from the morning, because that's the place where I covered it. So basically, just in short, this meeting is for AsyncAPI community members that would like to contribute to the project, but there are no clear instructions on how to do it. This meeting is for you, so you can ask questions. I can give you some replies. Maybe in future, other community members will also join, like other maintainers, and explain things. And then basing on your feedback, on your questions, we know what knowledge we have to pass on you, so you can be a contributor, like you can become a contributor in a easier way for you. So that's the plan for the meeting. Grab your experience, and then work on contribution guidelines. But we also have Hacktoberfest, like every year. So we have some issues for Hacktoberfest. You can also ask some questions about the Hacktoberfest issues during the meeting. And last but not least, we have also a AsyncAPI hackathon, which is now running over October. I know there are some teams working on some solutions, so whoever wants to, feels blocked, or did not start yet working on anything and needs some guidance, just feel free to come to the stream and ask questions. I can give you some ideas, help you out to promote what you produce for the hackathon, because I will not be among the people that decide if given hackathon solution wins or not. I'm out of the group, so I can give you advices. But I don't guarantee that my advice is gonna help. Mea culpa. Mm, so I guess we're done, and there we're going back to question from Anand. Anand, can you confirm you are still there listening? Let me know once you're back. Oh yeah, yeah. Okay, cool. Ah, yeah, we have this delay, I guess. And just to clarify, that's just water. I'm clarifying it because some time ago Alejandra said that I'm probably drinking vodka. So no, it's water. Um, although it's a good time for vodka, by the way, at least in Poland. So the question from Anand is: as a contributor, I do not understand the GitHub actions about the releases. Can you talk about that? And yes, I'd love to talk about that. Now, I don't have any ready explanation because the question was not asked like upfront, which is totally fine. Even if you would ask it yesterday, I would not be able to prepare anything specific. So we're yes, Mark, it's water. Um, whatever I'm gonna cover, I'll probably just jump on different topics about releases and GitHub actions. Hopefully, um, help understanding it than confusing even more. But yeah, let me share a screen. Um, hmm. So I guess we can hide the question for a sec. And yeah, so the Anand is asking actually because Anand is also now contributing to um, a Go Watermill template. Um, so when Anand asked like to give context to others, I think it's needed. So when Anand asked about like GitHub Actions and releases, how it works at AsyncAPI, it's because I'm sure Anand is interested, like by the how it works um, that we get this version here. Okay, because as you can see, the version is not created by a human, but it's created by a bot, which is definitely not a human. Um, so yeah, first fact to know is that it's fully automated. Like there is no single person behind the release process. The whole release is done by a bot. And the last step done by a human is to click on the merge button of the pull request. And the only requirement that must be done, has to be done by a person that is merging a pull request, is to make sure that there is a proper prefix on the commit message. Now, what I mean, let me show you. Let me show you now. Where we, because we don't see any pull request here. Let's explore first of all some. Oh yeah, you see like how amazing README we have for the organization. Thanks to Alejandra. Okay, now generator. I guess we have some PRs there. No, we're so efficient. React, yes. Oh yeah, cool. And it's even APR from Daylane. So we're gonna do some practicing on a pull request from Dale. So to explain like how the release automation of the release works is, again, like, so showing in practice what I mean by the prefix is you create a title um, for your pull request, and the title of the pull request always needs to have a prefix. Otherwise, if you don't have a proper prefix and it's not formatted properly, there the GitHub Actions CI checks, which are not visible here, which is strange. Wow, it's super odd. Come on, like, why it's not here? Is it because it's completed successfully? Maybe instead of React, let's see. Let's see, is there anything for Modelina? Okay, so Jonas is doing some Modelina stuff to support also other specs. No, it's a draft. Ah, you have all the draft PRs. No, this is one. This one is not. Okay, so it's a support for Swagger 2.0. What is Swagger, anyways? And you can see. Oh yeah. So there on the CI level, when you create a PR, we have a dedicated GitHub Actions workflow that makes sure that your PR title has a prefix. And so that's the automation that, like, the first automation which is release related. We're making sure on a PR level that the title is created with a proper prefix. And then when we merge, and I won't be able to merge, click on merge here, but and then when we merge, we always squash all the commits into one and merge as one commit. So later on in the history, it's nicely visible that the commit to the master branch was done actually by the person that submitted PR. So we click on squash and merge, and we always make sure that whatever was in the title is reflected in the commit, in the main message of the commit that will go to the master branch. So, and that's the last moment when a human still interacts with the release process. We have future plans to also get rid of it. So human just makes a comment in a PR like please merge, and bot will merge. But for now, that's the last step where human is involved. And what human has to do about the prefix just needs to make sure that the prefix has is named properly. And now, okay, I was talking about this prefix all the time. Now, what is this prefix all about? So there is I mean, we're AsyncAPI spec, so obviously we love other specs. So there's another specification called conventional commits, which like specifies how to write commit messages which are not only human readable but also machine readable. So and it's basically like a mandatory step for us to have release automation, because bot needs to know first of all if bot has to release something, and if it has to be master a major, minor, or a patch release. And that's what we need conventional commits for. And quick summary. So basically, not sure if I want to throw at you the whole specification. So basically, I would say now, like, just remember we're using conventional commits, but I think in our contributing guide, we are actually explaining this. like giving hints to make it like easier. Yeah, exactly. Okay, so like the basic um, prefixes we recommend to use from the list of other conventional commits. So we have like when you do fix, bot will interpret it as that the bot has to release a patch release, right? Now, then we have feed, and bot will interpret it as okay, it's a feature, so it should be a minor release. Then docs or test, refactor, these are APRs that are not release triggering, and they are just to understand really what's happening in a given commit, so that it's documentation really documentation related, it's just tests related or refactoring, so you know what's happening in the commit and why basically it's not triggering a release. Now, the major release can be triggered by any of the prefixes as long as you add a exclamation mark. So let's say the refactor maybe is not um, changing, the refactor is not like changing, let's say API, but it's like dramatically changing the architecture of the library, and you would like to have a major release, then you're gonna do a refactor exclamation mark colon and then the name of the commit. And but here we're still talking about just a specification. It's not doing really any automation. It's like with AsyncAPI. You can write AsyncAPI file, but like if you don't have tools to support it, it's not super useful, right? But I'm happy, Anand, that it's already helpful for you what I just explained. But yeah, so we have, so you know what is happening on a PR level, PR title, human interaction, and when bot starts, and the specification behind the automation. Now, what really happens when you merge? When you merge, okay, I'm not gonna merge this. So when you merge, mm, we have a GitHub workflow that is called if Node.js release, basically, which means that this workflow is going to run a release process, but only for Node.js projects. And this workflow is exactly the same for all the projects in AsyncAPI. React component, I don't know, Modelina, or the Go Watermill template, they all have the same release workflow because it's designed in the way that it can be just replicated one by one in every repo. So any specific customizations to the release, like let's say your release needs a bit more to release, like a bit like additional specific npm package or whatever. For this, we have additional workflows, and that's actually with React component. I hope I'm not putting too much like knowledge on you now, and to not complicate, but just wanted to mention, like, for example, because you can think like, how can you have a generic release workflow for all? So it's possible because we basically have this a core of the release, but if you have something custom, and I think we have it only for 2 different projects, you simply can create additional workflow that will react once the GitHub release is created. And then you can release additional stuff. Like in case of React component, we're also releasing a web component and other things. But yeah, so basically we have this if Node.js release workflow that runs whenever there is a push to to master branch, and then in some cases to next branch or a release branch that's related to the spec release and some release candidates. Let's maybe not go too deep in this. Um, let's just talk about like um, there's a commit done to the master because we merged a pull request with a prefix. And what happens, like, yeah, testing, blah, 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 boring. Then, yeah, we're checking out, of course, then checking if it's really Node.js project. So we can have those ifs in every step to make sure that there's a package JSON. So we have to do the release. We're installing dependencies. But the most important is this. So every single repository that wants to is a Node.js project, and Node.js, I said, yeah, Node.js project, and wants to be released to npm on the AsyncAPI scope on npm, needs to have this step, and the step is just triggering a npm run release script from package.json, and yeah, has some secret stuff. And what is this npm run release doing? Npm run release is calling semantic release, and that's where the spec meets tools. So basically, conventional commits is a specification to enable machine readable commits, and semantic release, it's super powerful, configurable with a lots of plugin, a tool to that supports the spec and can actually do the automated releases. So you just call semantic release. So basically, it means you have to have semantic release in your development dependencies, and you have to add a release related property to your package JSON that exactly says like, yeah, whenever there's a release to master, run the following plugins in the following order. So there's going to be a commit analyzer that follows typical conventional commits. So the commit analyzer, after we merge, commit analyzer checks all the commits that were done since the last tag creation or release creation. And through prefix, by analyzing prefix, the plugin knows if if the release should happen and what kind of release. Then another plugin is generating the release notes. So this stuff, right? This is purely generated from the commit message and the link to the pull request and to the commit. So this this is generated thanks to this plugin. And then we have an npm plugin with information for the plugin which directory should be used for for publishing. And this, as the name shows, like this plugin is responsible for pushing the library, the new version of the library to the to npm. And last but not least, also do it in the GitHub releases. So yeah, so here. And yeah, all those plugins, of course, have to be in conventional, not in conventional, in the dev dependencies. So yeah, that would be it. So if it comes to the spec behind the automation, you know what it is. Now, if it comes to the tooling behind it, you know what it is. Um, Now, some details, I guess, would be useful. So, if it comes to, for example, like it's a first release, so we did not release anything yet. What will happen? Like, will the automation work? So, if the package is brand new, not yet released, we need two things. One thing is to have a specific information in the package JSON, which is, sorry, it should be in the library in case of this package. It is called this property, yeah, publish config. That's a, yeah, npm specific thing. So basically, if you don't have this property in your package JSON and you did not yet release a package under any version and it's your first package release, it's going to fail. It's a protection they added at some point of time because people were complaining that by mistake they were publishing a package and it was by default public, um, which I think it's user's fault and should not be changed. But yeah, anyway, if you want to have package published as a public package, you have to have this property in your package JSON. And that's one thing. And the other thing is, let's take a look on this Go Watermill. Look at this. Like 7 days ago, in the Go Watermill project, I created manually this pretty dummy release and marked it as 001. Now the reason is because and I'm not 100% sure about the reasoning here. Who actually who like initially in the semantic release plugin decided to do it, but basically semantic release tool treats semver specific, like semver. Is semver a specification? No, semver is like guidelines. How do you say, like best practice? Interesting. How do you? Yeah, it's specification. Okay, so semver is also a specification, right? Like how do you name the major, minor patch? So where do you put the digits in the version? How do you mark release candidates, etc., etc., etc.? And the semantic release tool treats semantic versioning specification in the way that if you release a package for the first time, it must be 100 or 1.0.0, which it should be a major release when you first release. And therefore, if I would not create this initial 001 release, with the first release, we would get Watermill released under 100. But if it was already 001, then the next one would be 002 or 010, depending, of course, on the contents of the commit and the prefix. Now, why they decided this way? I think it's a discussion on for probably different call, and we could make a good argue here. That's something that we did not yet discuss in AsyncAPI in our maintainers group. There are different opinions here, and I personally have mixed feelings about the approach. If we should always release major first and then simply go further, or if it's a good habit that the community, like development community, like JavaScript developers community, took that you work on a library forever and do not release major release, which makes you always on a safe position that, okay, it's not major, so you should not use it in production. So I'm safe if you complain, and I'm safe if I want to break API. And many people think this way and choose not to release major quickly, so they can work for a very long time on a package before it reaches a major release, because they feel they have this freedom of not breaking API and other reasons. Not true entirely, in my opinion. Like, because if you didn't reach major release, but your library is all suddenly hugely adopted and you get a huge community, you're not gonna break API just like this for patch releases or for minor releases. You will feel like you should, I mean, at least I would feel responsible, like, for the community of my library, that I probably should not be breaking API that often. So when I in the past I was supporting this kind of approach that you can um, not release major forever, but last months I'm thinking that it leads people to an approach that they're just afraid of releasing major, while at the end, like, why would I mean, there are so many known libraries with so many major releases, like React, Jest, and others. I don't think it means bad that a library is at version 25. For me, it's just a signal that the version is actually somebody's working on the on the library quite often. So yeah, it's I don't think it. I mean, basically, this whole conversation doesn't make sense in the topic of explaining how the automation works. But yeah, for now we did not have yet any open discussion about it. So we always follow this old approach. So we make a manual 001 release, and then go further with next releases until we do a major release. Now, what else should I explain? Yeah, what else should I explain? One more thing, like, what about other languages? I mean, like, as like in Async API, we don't have only um, JavaScript, TypeScript packages. We have also Go, we have Java. So the cool stuff is we can still do the same, and we don't even have to have package JSON in Go project. Like, who would like to see a package JSON in a Go project, right? So I'll just quickly, briefly show you a Go parser. So we have a release here. Some, yeah, testing, again, boring. Some even more boring Go stuff. And look, but the release is still done by Semantic Release package, even though Semantic Release package is a NPM package. What we just do is, instead of having an NPM script, which is not needed, because there's npx, right? So in GitHub Actions, the Node.js environment has npx available by default. So npx basically lets you run packages without installing it with package.json or npm. So we basically do the same as npm run release script, but just directly call npx semantic release. We only need to do two additional things: manually install one of the plugins, which is the conventional changelog conventional commits plugin, where we enforce the classical conventional commits. And one more thing is the configuration for semantic release, which normally you put in the package.json, but you don't have to. So we have a release RC file where we have probably whatever you see here, you probably already understand that it's the same as you could see in the package.json that I showed, like a list of plugins, commit analyzer, release notes generator. npm plugin is not used, obviously, because we're not pushing Go packages to npm. And then we just go with GitHub plugin. And in this case, we're just pushing some assets, some like generated executables, like binary files, to GitHub release, because in GitHub release you can attach some additional files. So as you can see, like Go projects also and others, like basically any whatever project you have can be released with semantic release with conventional commits and GitHub actions in whatever way you want, which makes the tool even more powerful. So yeah, is it all? And yeah, you might think like, so why in the other project you had to install some plugins and here you just have to install this particular plugin? It's because after some time, unfortunately, I didn't know it upfront, the semantic release package is pre-bundled with some default plugins. So the plugins like commit analyzer, release notes generator, GitHub, they're already part of the semantic release package. So if you ask me, I wish, but I know I will probably never have time to do it. I wish that we simplify the configuration in our Node.js templates, because I think, and I guess you agree with me, like having this and just npx semantic release and such a simple file, it's much cleaner for me than the whole versioning with package.json, having package.json polluted with the release configuration, and especially like the problem of handling like the versions of the plugins. I mean, we could easily remove it and replace it with how we do it in Go project. But yeah, I mean, it's like adjusting like 30 or something projects. I don't think we're gonna ever do it. I mean, it works now, and we have better things to improve than just having a cleaner configuration, I guess. So, Anand, did I answer it the right way, or are there some still open topics I did not cover if it comes to the release automation? Oh, maybe interesting is that also when we release, we have additional workflow. We have a release announcements workflow. So we basically, when the release is published, we send also a Slack message in our dedicated Slack channel with information like this package got released, but we do it for any release. And in case of major or minor releases, we also automatically send a a tweet to AsyncAPI initiative Twitter account with the information about the new release and who created the release. Um, you can see, so for example, the release like this one, this tweet. So the release version, who contributed the release, and this link. That's like nobody's doing it manually because it would be like full-time job. So these tweets, whenever we have minor or major release, these tweets come from the workflows. Um, yeah. Okay, so it was a lot of talking. Any questions about it? I had 6 people, now I have only 3. It had to be boring. Is there anyone watching? Like, say hello, please. No worries, Anand. Anytime. Anytime, really. Okay, 10 minutes left. Ah, yes. No. Janas, your attitude, like, seriously, you have to fix it. Look at Alejandra, how happy she is. Okay, so 9 minutes left. Any questions? Or should I do something I'm the best in, which is promotion? So I'd like to thank you, send a thank you to our platinum sponsors for AsyncAPI Hackathon and a conference. So we have IBM that joined us yesterday, or actually 2 days ago, as a platinum sponsor. So they were first actually to support the hackathon and the conference. And today we got Abli. So this logo represents Abli real time. I think I can actually show you the website. Like, everybody knows IBM, and I think many people should also know Abli real time, because Abli real time also integrates with AsyncAPI. They're doing quite some cool stuff. When you And actually, I have to show it to you because probably my pronunciation of Abli real time is not the most professional. So you just go to Abli, A-B-L-I, ably.com, and that's our second platinum sponsor, Abli. And I'm not gonna try to explain you now what they do, but the cool stuff is that they have free, not free, free tier, so you can try their platform for free, and it's all event driven, which is, of course, awesome. Um, 6 minutes to go, and I'm not planning to leave sooner. So if you don't want to watch me, you have to. In the meantime, I'm gonna share something with you. Maybe it's gonna be interesting for you. So the this contributor first meetings is not the only way we want to help out people to become contributors. Um, we also have like the conference that we have in November. It's a 3 days conference, but the first day is purely contributor related. So it's a contributor summit. So I will share a link, share a screen, and I think I have some caption ready. Yeah, you have the link to the contributor summit. But wait, with the overlay, my head is not visible. I have to show my face. Come on, I need to turn it off. Um, so we have a discussion in our community repo about the contributor summit. Feel free to get there, suggest what topics you would like to have covered, or if you would like to cover some topic for contributors. Mm, there are three proposals so far. So I proposed a talk that is called Contributor Journey to Become Async API TSC member, a how to contribute to Async API specification, and also there's a proposal from Alejandra about how to contribute to Async API developer documentation. Um, I encourage you to go into this discussion and suggest if you would like to talk about something to other people from the community that would like to become contributors. Like Jonas, I think it's a perfect platform for you to explain how to contribute to Modelina project. So you can attract a wider community, especially in the topic that we discussed some time ago about like getting more people from different areas that know different programming languages to contribute to Modelina, so we can also generate models for different programming languages. So might be that contributor summit, it's a good place to talk about it. Like in short, like how to start with Modelina, what's the point, and how to contribute. Or like Anand, um, might be that like think about it. Maybe you'd like to present like your experience with the contributions you did to the project. Like you basically rewrote one code generator, maybe, and consider maybe it would I think actually not maybe, like it would be nice to have a talk on the contributor summit where we cover like how to create a generator template, how to contribute a generator template. That might be super useful for contributors. So think about it. Like the cool thing about contributor summit is that this contributor summit is not part of the regular call for papers. So because call for papers cover only the second and the third day, um, and the contributor summit is mainly like on the contributor summit you only have people presenting, the people that are maintainers or TSC members or people like fully involved in the project, that can talk about the about contributing to the project. So the list of people is pretty small. We won't get so many proposals, and it's up to us maintainers and TSC members to decide like what talks we think should be there on the agenda. So it's much easier to get on the list. But it's not super easy because you still have to prepare the presentation and record it. But yeah, there are pros and cons. Um, I personally recommend starting as a speaker. It's it's a cool thing and gives you adrenaline, which is also a good thing, I've heard. So I think it's almost like it's the end. So let me finish with some words. I'm just gonna share with you like what I did in Yes, I will display a comment from Jonas because I think he has a wish that most of us have. And I'm afraid that if 48 hours, that at some point of time, 48 hours would not be enough for the day. But yeah, would be awesome. Come on, Jonas, you can't be so, again, like, what attitude? Like, no. The, the thing about creating talks is that it takes time only when you start doing it. Like, it's your first presentation, maybe second, maybe third. But then over time, it's easy. It's easy like coding, really. Like, believe me, it's super easy. That's why you should practice and you should actually apply and do presentation about Modelina. Definitely do it, Jonas. I mean, I like really, and you're gonna maybe get some swags. I mean, not sure if you're gonna get some swags, but you might think that you're gonna get some swags for it. So try it. It's really, it's really cool to do it. So, what I wanted to show you at the end is that when I was doing the stream in the morning, there were not so many specific questions. Like I didn't get any nice, like very good specific question about the, like Anand asked about explaining the. I can't when I'm trying to be serious. I cannot read chat. Like I seriously cannot read chat. I have to improve in the future and probably block Jonas. Uh, and what was I supposed to talk about? Yeah. So there, I mean, now during this stream, I was talking about release a lot because of a great question from Anand. In the first stream, I did not have um, too many questions like specific that I would have to explain. So I know that there are some comments in the chat. I'm not going to read them now. So what you can see on the screen is that I was real time working on a like plan for the presentation um, for for what for for the contributor summit. So like Jonas, look how simple it is. You just open a mind map. You just and it took me like I don't know 20 minutes to come up with a first set of slides ideas about open governance, and the same like the others will also take not much time, I guess. I think I believe so. Look, like it's not really complicated. Like with proper attitude, you can do it. You can do it. Now there is a question from Arjun. Hi Arjun, by the way. I just checked that the output volume in all the stream platforms is kind of low, or is it just me? I don't know. Uh, like you mean even YouTube? Can others confirm, please? Okay, thank you, Anand. So, mm, I'd love to help you, Arjun, sorry, but it's 7:04 here, and I will not repeat myself. And what I think perhaps Booker speaks softly. Oh, thank you. I always I always knew my voice is soft and calm. and I make people feel good when I'm speaking. Thank you, Alejandra. Thank you. At least that's what I understood from your question. I don't really care if I'm wrong. So I'm finishing, but just again, in the end, folks, remember we just started a hackathon. Please, please, um, don't feel afraid. Even if you don't know much about Async API, if you don't have some ideas, then just use me, use other members of the community, ask for some ideas, for some suggestions. On the conference website, you're going to see a link to FAQ about Hacktoberfest, hackathon, um, with some links where you can find some ideas to work on. We have one submission already. I know there are a few teams working on submissions. Um, I personally don't expect more than 10 submissions for the hackathon. Would be nice to have more, but we organized everything pretty late. If we get at least 10 submissions for the hackathon, that would be awesome. But like, it basically means if we have 10 submissions and we have three prizes, $5,000, $3,000, and $1,000. So it means like if we three people win basically, and we have 10 participants, I'm not gonna calculate now how many chances you have to win, but it's very probable you're gonna win. So yeah, what comments are coming there? Like, um, um, who says I can't? Basically, who says I can't? And by the way, like, looking on Alejandra and Jonas, how they're handling the chat, I wish you good luck on your presentation in few hours. Or, and basically, like, because we have some other folks here, I could like promote you. Um, wait, there is a link, right, Alejandra, that I could share with others. Mm-mm-mm. La la la. I'm trying to find it. Yes. Yes. Yeah. I'm gonna share screen. So in in about now, let me think, like 12 p.m. PST. Please help me there in the chat. Like, in how many hours you have the presentation? 2 hours. Okay. So if you are from the Americas time zone, 12 p.m. PST, which means in 2 hours, Alejandra will have a presentation, a workshop on a conference called CCOSS, which is CC Open Source Software, como contributor, como contribuir, contribu, com, I'm so sorry, Alejandra, como contribuir open source software.org. And Alejandra will talk about how to contribute to Async API. And the workshop is going to be in Spanish. So you, Jonas, I see you have a good time there. So, um, yeah, you definitely have to join. Share the information with your friends who know Spanish, are from yeah, basically the whole America. Um, and I obviously recommend it to you. And Jonas will help there. At least he will try to help there. But Jonas doesn't speak Spanish, so good luck, Jonas. Um, yeah, okay, it's enough. It's 7. I have to spend some time with my kids and my wife as well. So thank you a lot for joining. Next stream is next Wednesday. Um, next week Wednesday, and I'm already sad that we have to wait until next Wednesday. But yeah, there are other things to do as well. So yeah, bye bye. Arrivederci. Na razie. Trzymajcie się. And thank you all the folks from the chat, even you, Alejandra and Jonas.